Hello guys, welcome to this long video. Okay, so I was on TikTok live and I wrote all these questions because I wanted us to have session. Unfortunately, well, I did not get the number of participants, so I decided to create a long video, and this is the video. Okay, so if you are seeing this one on TikTok, I might have to cut the videos, so maybe I will just solve, I don't have many problems, maybe I'll limit the videos to like 5 minutes. Okay, so if you want to see the whole of this, check my YouTube channel. Okay, and if you're watching this one as well on Facebook. So I've solved some of these questions already in my previous videos. Okay, but this is going to be like a marathon, so let me just solve, explain and solve. Okay, so let's get into it. If you want to see where I solve all of this at go, check my new YouTube channel. Okay, so of course I asked how many can you get. So if you want to try this one, you can, and this should be over 13, I think. So let's see. This is very easy. For the first one, it says L is parallel to M. L is parallel to M. When you have parallel lines, then you have a transversal line, which is this. You have to think of the different properties of parallel lines. Vertically opposite, corresponding angles are congruent, alternate angles are congruent. So alternate angles like this and this, A and B are alternate angles. A and C are corresponding angles. Okay, whilst this and this, they are adjacent angles or angles on a straight line. Okay, so now let's start with this. Angles of a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 70, then you would expect this one to be what? So I'm going to use this right one. You would expect this one to be, subtract 180 minus 70, that gives you 110. Okay, so that is it. I just told you that A and B are alternate angles, and alternate angles are congruent, meaning they have the same measure. Okay, so A equals to B, so definitely this B again is going to be 110 degrees. Okay, now this and this are vertically opposite angles, so definitely B is the same as C, so everything here again, this is 110 degrees. Or you can say again, A equals to C, these are corresponding, while this and this are vertically opposite angles. Okay, so that is it for question 1. Okay, so let's look at question 2. This is question 2. Here, this is a triangle. Okay, now for us to find D and E, we first of all have to find D, right? So this and this are angles on a straight line, and angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. Okay, so if this is 50, you would expect this one to be 130, right? So if this is 130, this is 50, gives you 180. Now, for us to get this one, we know if we add this, this and this, they add up to 180 degrees again. But that is not what I want us to use. Now I want us to use something different. Okay, so we know 20 plus that 130 plus E equals 180. But this and this is 150 if you add them. Then plus this equals 180. If you need E, so E plus this is 150 already, which equals 180 degrees, right? So if you subtract both sides by 150, so E is equals to 30 degrees, right? But now let's say this is not the method you want to use. There is another one. You can also say 50 is equals to 20 plus E. And what is the reason? Exterior angle here. When you have a triangle, this is a triangle, and one of the lines extend outside. You see this angle form here is equals to the sum of these two. So meaning one exterior angle equals to the sum of the two non-adjacent interior co-interior angles. So that is it. So from here again, subtract both sides by 20, so your E again will be just that, the same as this one. Okay, so that is it for question 2. Let's look at question 3. Okay, now question 3, we have a circle and we have a quadrilateral. Okay, now when you have a quadrilateral inside a circle, we call it cyclic quadrilateral. Okay, we call it cyclic quadrilateral. And once you know what cyclic quadrilateral is, you have to know the different properties. Okay, now for cyclic quadrilateral, opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. They add up to 180 degrees. Supplementary angles, they have like 1, 2 or more angles add up to 180 degrees as supplementary angles. Okay, so this and this should give you 180 degrees. If this is 1, if this is 10 already, then so this G is going to be, you subtract 180, so this is going to be 170, right? Yeah, let me use a red marker. So this is going to be 170 degrees. Same thing here again, this and this. Now, there are 2 ways you can solve this now. This and this, they add up to 360 degrees because it's a quadrilateral. 360 degrees. So you can add all of them, equate to 360 degrees. Then 360 minus 170 plus this gives you 240. 240 plus this gives you 250. So this is 0 and this is 1 here and this is 1. So you have 1, 1, 0. Now, if you want to apply that rule, or now you can say again this F plus this must equals to 180 because they are opposite angles, so again, of a cyclic quadrilateral. So you will see that if you subtract 180 by this, you are going to have 110 as well here. Okay, so any of the methods you use, you'll get the same answer. So that is it for question 3. Now let's look at question 4. This is a question I've already solved. Okay, but let's look at it again. Okay, so now here we are going to apply another rule here. It's almost similar rule to this one, this. Okay, now we have 23 here, we have H is what we are looking for, we have 100 here. Now we know this is a straight line, so this is 100. What should be here? If this is a straight line or adjacent angles, if we don't know this one but we know this, we know why. We know if we add this and this, should give us 180 degrees. So if this is 100, definitely this is going to be 80. Okay, angles on the straight line. Now if we know this is 80, this is 23, if we add these two, we should have H. The same rule here. One exterior angle is equal to the sum of the 2 non-adjacent interior co-interior angles. Okay, so we just add 80 plus 23, and that gives you, this is 3 and this is 10. Okay, 103 degrees. So that's one way you can do it. Okay, now the other way is that you are going to find this one, find this angle, then you add again these two if you want. Okay, like this and this. Of course, you know it's so you add this and this, then you subtract 180 by that, so this like 180. If you subtract this is 7, then this and this is another 7, right? So you have 77. Now if you put 77 here, 77 again plus H, once equals 180 again, so you still end up having 103 degrees. Okay, so that is your answer for H. Okay, now we are into question 5. Question 5 as well, I have solved this question. Okay, but let's look at it again. There is a catch here. It says AC is equals to CD. So AC here, this one is the same as this. So if you know these are the same, this is now a triangle, right? It's a triangle and 2 of the angles are the same. This is now an isosceles triangle. 2 of the lengths are the same. So we need to get this one. So this can be any letter. You can take this one to be Z and this again can be Z. because base angles of an isosceles triangle are the same. Okay? Now, so that will be the first thing we have to do. If this is Z, and this is 104, we add everything equal to 180 because it's a triangle. So you say 180 minus 104, and that should give you, so you subtract 100, that will be 80, so this will be 76, right? So Z is 76. This is 76. This is what am I doing? So this is 76, right? You divide this by 2. That will give you Z. Okay. So 180 minus 104. So you have like, you have Z plus 104. This is 180 degrees, right? And if you transpose this way, you have 2Z equals to 76. You divide it by 2, this by 2, this and this goes to Z equals to, this into this is 3. 1 into 16 is 8. So that gives you 38 for just Z. Now, how do you get this one? We know again the rule here. Z plus this 45 must equals to I. Okay? So you just add plus 45 here. That should give you the I. Why? One exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two non-adjacent interior angles. Okay? So that rule applies so many ways because this is a triangle and this one is outside. Okay? Okay, so that is it for question 5. Now let's go to question 6. Question 6, this is circle theory. Okay? We have a circle and we have this shape. Now we have to find J and K. Here, one of the properties of this, I think, is in fact the first theory of circle geometry. So it says that when you have, so look at this, you have this line starting from here, comes here and ends here, right? You have this other line starting from here, comes here and ends here. So say this is the center. Okay, O is the center. I should have put that one. O being the center, I should have put 0 here. You say O is the center. Now that you know O is the center, you say angles at the center here, okay, is twice that of a circumference if they are subtended by the same arc. What is the arc here? So from this point to this is the arc. Okay, if they are subtended by the same arc, how do you know they are subtended by the same arc? This line starts here, comes here, ends here. This again starts here, comes here and ends here. They all end at the same point. Okay, so angles subtended by the same arc. This angles at the center, this angle at the center is twice that of a circumference. Okay, so if this is 40, we know already that this has to be twice this one. So this is definitely going to be 80 degrees, right? Angle at the center is twice that of a circumference if they are subtended by the same arc, right? Now once we know this is 80, we need K. We know this is angles at a point. Angles at a point here. We have this. This is like a circle. And sum of angles in a circle is 360 degrees. Okay? So if this is 80, what are we going to add? What will we add to 80 for us to have 360 degrees? So subtract by 80, and that should give you the answer. Okay? So this is 0. You take 1 here, and this is 8, and you are left with 2 here. So that gives you 280 degrees for K. 280 degrees. Okay? Easy. Now, we are on to question 7. For question 7, it's kind of tricky a bit. Okay? I think it's the most difficult question here. I think. We have a circle, and M here is the radius. So if you know M is the radius, we are asked to find that M. How do we get that? Now, first thing you have to do, if this is M, this area is also going to be M. Why? Because this is a radius, and this is also going to be a radius. From the circumference to the center of, this should be O, okay, as the center. And of course, this is radius. Okay? So now once you know that, this becomes very easy. We need to find this length. So from this length, then this we know already this is m. Let's say this is just L. Okay, let's say L. If this length is L, then this again, it is square. This again is going to be L. This again is going to be L. This is going to be L. Now, how do we get L? Because first of all, we have to identify this is like a right angle triangle. Okay, I should have put this one as well. That's another mistake I've done. If that's a right angle triangle, using Pythagoras theory, we know the longest side, which is L plus M here, all square, must equal to the sum of the square of the two remaining sides, which is M square plus this 12 square. And that's one thing you should do. That's the first thing. L plus M, all square equals to M square. That's Pythagoras theory. And so now we need to find L. How do we get L? Okay, it's easy. We know this is a square, but we know that area of a square, because this M square, I mean, this is like the area, right? Okay, you should know that. So area equals to L square. The area of a square equals to L square. Now, for this area is given as 64 equals to L square. Take the square root here, square root, this and this cancel. So my L is actually 8 meters. Okay? 8 meters. Don't confuse this and this one. Okay? This is for the units. 8 meters, let's just say. Now, I should have put a different letter here anyway. So this is again 12 meters, but this is M, which represents the radius. So it's totally different. Now that we know this is 8, so we are going to put 8 plus this M, all square equals to M square plus 144. Okay. This is now becoming so interesting. Now, there's no shortcut to this. The only thing you have to do here is that you have to expand this one. I think this should have been a video on its own. But anyways, so you expand this one, gives you, that's, so you have 8 into, I want to just do a shortcut. So 8 plus M, rather 8 plus M. Let's just focus on this, then we'll add this later. Then this gives you, this and this gives you 64, right? 8 multiplied by this gives you 8M plus another 8M. Then this gives you now M squared, right? So that's the expansion. Now this is going to be 64 plus this is 16M, then plus M squared. Okay, so that is it for the left hand side. So we have 64 plus 16M plus M squared equals to this again, M squared plus 144. M squared cancels this M squared. Okay, now we have this. So this is now going to be 16M equals to this is 144 minus, we are transposing this one, 64. So 16M equals to, you subtract this by this is 0 here. 14 by this gives you 8, I think. So that should give you 144, right? If my math is having you, I divide by 16, divided by 16, this and this goes to my n. I think that should be, is it 5? I think so. That should be 5. 5 times 16 should give you 80, I guess. 5 times 6, 30, yeah. Okay, so that is it for M. And we are looking for M, meaning the radius there is 5. Okay, I think that's the trickiest question so far. Now, for this other one, it's easy. Okay, so let me take this one. And so we are on to the last problem, which is this. This is a question I've already solved. Okay, we have 20 here. We are told L and M are parallel lines. If they are parallel lines, you have to think of the different properties of parallel lines. Okay, if this is 20 here, this line serves as a transversal line. Okay, if you extend it, now these are parallel lines. You see this angle here and this angle are the same. So what if this is 20? This again is going to be 20. They are corresponding angles. Or you can say you bring this one again. Now, if you consider this one as a transversal line, okay, you see this angle here is the same as this angle here. this again is going to be 60 degrees. They are also corresponding angles. Okay, now if you have this 60, this is 20, you need n rather. So you know n plus 20 plus 60 degrees equals 180 because they are angles in a triangle. Okay, this is 80, right? If you subtract it, so your n is going to be 100 degrees. So that's the, now the same thing again if you just consider this one here. Okay, so that is it for this whole question. So if you get all of these correct, then bingo. Okay, see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, share, and if you're watching this video on YouTube, please hit down the bell notification so when I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Okay, and if it's on TikTok, just follow for more. Facebook as well. See you guys. Bye bye.